YouTube.
Hi everybody, hello, welcome. I am looking for there it is.
Is that your microphone?
You know, I don't. Thank you. Let me grab that. Yeah, just a little behind the scenes stuff going on, but you guys hang tight because we are going to be sharing some easy stencil techniques that everybody should learn how to do. Here is my little mic. Let me go up. Hello, everybody. Hi and welcome. You know, I need that Tammy Faye Baker clip in the front where I'm just praying for a miracle.
Yeah.
Because that's just what we need when we go live. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Lynn from EJG'S. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You're probably watching on YouTube or on Facebook, and we're so glad to have you here. EJG'S is a brick and mortar shop in Medina, New York. We are just between Buffalo and Rochester, not too far from Canada either, and we would love to have you visit anytime. And if you are not local or are not driving to us, you can also find us at EJG'S.com or on either platform. Our YouTube is the same. Search the same, EJG'S, as you would for Facebook, but it's a good idea to head over to YouTube as well at some point to go ahead and subscribe, click the notifications so you know when our videos go live. Here's the reason why. As you know, YouTube has changed their storage.
You mean Facebook?
Or Facebook has changed their storage guidelines. So that means that any new live videos that we do on Facebook are only going to be live and active, and you can only see them for 30 days. Then they're going to be deleted. So everything that we do stream is also streamed on YouTube, so you can always catch our lives on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, there's a little bar across the top that says playlists and live and videos and shorts. All of those things are up there, so you just click on the live tab and you'll find all of our live videos that we do on Mondays and Wednesdays. And we also do edited videos on YouTube. And so if you click the video tab, you'll see all of our edited videos, which are just little 10 to 15 minute videos sharing either shop updates, cottage updates, or fun techniques in a little more of a compact way. So we would love it if you would join us over there. There's a lot of great content, and actually just dropped a video last night just on a lot of big changes and behind the scenes updates, what we're doing here at the shop and also at home. So be sure to check that out. We would love it if you did. Megan's here with us, and she's going to talk to you about everything that we're using today. We're actually going to be doing some stencil techniques. As you know, Mara had some, or it's called Diva Designs now. I can't get used to it. It's like trying to remember the names of my kids.
We should, wow, okay. But we should probably change the name on our website, huh?
Yeah, I did change it. I changed them to Diva Designs. My thumbnail says New Stencils by Mara. So, you know, I'll work with that, or we'll work with that to make sure that they're easy to find. But there are 5 designs, and I'm going to show a few of those today. We're also going to feature 3 of our new designs at EJG'S that I am so excited about too. And we will share, I think, 3 different techniques using stencils. So we're kind of going back to basics, but in an EJG'S way, all right? So let's flip the camera down and be sure to answer or ask any questions if you have any, and Megan will be monitoring those, and you know all the thing.
They might not.
But happy Monday to all of you. Here we go. I have some surfaces prepared because I've been madly working on some incredible techniques with textures that I am so excited to be able to share those with you. So let me move these out. Well, no, you know what? Yeah, let me move these two panels out of the way, and let's talk about this first one that is a frame, and I'm going to be using, oh no, I just spilled water everywhere. Well, you guys see, and this is the way it goes here. This is
Would
just
you like
the
more
way
water?
it goes. Yeah, and more paper towels.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you guys. See what happens? Oh my goodness. I am literally, you know what? It's Monday. It's Monday. So we will get this cleaned up. But I am working on a wood frame. We had these made many years ago for workshops that we did here at EJG'S. We don't ship these out. I really don't have that many left. But we'll get you some measurements in just a minute. So I had some wash techniques that I tried on that. And again, I just grabbed pieces that I had just hanging around and was practicing some different techniques on them. And so today I just thought, well, I'm going to use those pieces to share a few different stencil techniques. I probably should get rid of this wet business right here. Or
You want a
not.
fresh paper?
Yeah, I don't want to have to move everything out of the place, so I think we'll be okay.
Okay. I can just get you one to lay over that.
You could, it'll probably soak through, but that's okay. So this is the frame, and I've kind of done things in some different stages. Is everybody still with us?
I can't tell that. I'll let you know.
We are still live, hopefully. I haven't done anything terrible here to our equipment. That would be the next thing. I'll like blow a gasket or blow
I
a...
wonder what these are called. Do you know?
I just pulled those out. They are...
Move you right back there behind you. You have the sleeves.
Yep, they are.
Thank you.
Okay, now, can you tell me the name of them? Because those
Baroque corners.
Baroque
and
corners.
Classic borders.
and classic borders. So this is classic borders, and this is Baroque corners. So my understanding is that, I mean, you can literally join these together with the corners. That's a really correct. I love when am I going to get these names right?
This is the structure plaster.
Structure plaster from PentArt. I've already done one here, and I'm going to continue to work on the corners. Then we're going to use that structure plaster to create an effect here. You can see what I did right here. We won't be finishing these today as far as finishing techniques, but I do want to come back to this on Wednesday so that I can show you how we ultimately finish off the pieces that we're doing today. So today is just going to be about those basic stencil techniques. So what are you going to need? You're definitely going to need your stencil brushes and your stencils and a palette knife, whatever you're comfortable with. We have these as well. But let's open up the structure plaster. We have used this before, and I've shared one of my tips with you is to use a press and seal and push that right down into that medium, and it's going to help to preserve the length of life of this medium. So I am actually going to try to create a really rugged, layered, textured look on this frame, and we'll be doing a lot of the finishing, like I said, on Wednesday. But let me show you one of our really great techniques. This is a little more advanced technique, so we'll start with that one first, I guess, only because it needs to dry longer. This particular stencil I love right here. This is a roses corner, and you can see that it's in two parts. So this is going to be the first bit that I lay down on a corner here. So let's go ahead.
Some people are saying that they lost sound.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let me check on Facebook.
Well, I
just want to see if anybody else is getting that, having that.
Maybe
issue.
I wasn't
heard a couple
talking
people.
at that time because we're on a little bit of a delay. I don't know.
Let's see. All good with sound over here on Facebook, it looks like. How about on YouTube? How are we doing? Was it just for a sec? Are we good?
It could have been, yeah.
Just want to make sure before we go too far. It's back now. Okay, great.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, so I'm going to bring you down nice and close here. So I'm sorry for moving this around as much as I am.
Do you mind if I just let them know where the supply list is before you get too deep into the project?
Sure.
Because I just know there'll be questions and I don't want to interrupt you when you're in the middle of it.
Okay.
And there's lots of stencils that she's about to show you. I made a supply list for today. You can find it linked in the description above if you're watching on Facebook, below if you're watching on YouTube, or you can go right to EJG'S.com and you can find it under the category featured on our live tutorials. You can find that right up at the top of our website if you're watching on just a regular computer. If you're on a mobile device, you'll look for the 3 lines over on the left-hand side of your screen. Click there and look for featured on our live tutorials. Look for the name of today's live along with the date, and you'll get a full supply list and links to everything Mom is using, including all of Mara's stencils. I don't know if they're called Diva Designs yet on our website or Mara's, one or the other.
Yeah, I think they are. Yes.
I will try to fix that by the end of today, though.
Yes, perfect. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions as we go along. All right, so I am going to create a layered effect with this stencil. I'm using this background piece here and this piece right here. So the first part that I'm going to lay down is this one. Now, you might remember back a while ago that we did like those incredible pine cones. Oh my gosh, they were just the best. Remember those, Megan?
Yes.
And
that's a really cool
oh my
stencil.
gosh, they were so good. And so you can just do this with 2 different color paints, or you can lay a paint color down here and add a texture medium here over top of it when this dries. But I'm going to double up on the structure plaster with this particular little corner design. So I want to hold this down. I've got my structure plaster on a palette knife, and then a minute ago it fell off, and then I put it back on again. And so I want to just kind of go at about a 45-degree angle. I'm holding this stencil down to make sure, make sure I don't do that.
You could tape it, right, if you're nervous?
I could, yes. But you know, your mother doesn't do things.
Well, I'm just
the
making
easy way.
suggestions for other people.
Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, so we've got that right there. In fact, I'm going to lay this over top again because I carefully kind of pulled away a little bit too much there. So what's cool is you can build this up any way you want. And then I'll just take that inside off of there. It's kind of this technique that I'm doing right now kind of reminds me of those old plaster frames. I'm gonna You know, the gilded and gold ones that I love so much. Oh my gosh. I really do love them.
Do you want me to wipe that off for you?
Nope, I got it. All right. And I'm going to come right here. And I'm going to just work right across. Of course, you guys know I love this stuff.
So tell us what is it? Because I feel like it's very new to everyone still.
This is structure plaster. We have shared lots of videos so far on this. It is a paste, a wall decor paste by Pentart that that is formulated for walls and also for decor and furniture. It is, you've seen me use this on my own as we've introduced it. We've worked with it through stencils. We have worked through it. That's going to need to get rinsed. Just as providing lots of texture on, for example, those little shadow boxes that we did. So I've used it a lot and I love it. It is formulated for walls and furniture. It's lightweight. It's not like the modeling paste by Pentart. It actually has a little bit of a grit in it. I'm just taking whatever's left over on my palette knife and I'm just going to rub a little bit of this with my palette knife right on this piece here. And it's just going to create a little more texture. Then, but it's also lightweight. It's not like spackle that you get like at a hardware store. Totally different animal. And I have been using this a lot. I've been using it behind the scenes, working on some projects in the basement. I'm prepping furniture right now with some of these same products, and I love it. I really, really love it. They're just an answer to those of us that just love texture and love creating texture on pieces like those old world style finishes. And I have been really doing some deep dives into how I can create that same look, and I just can't wait to share everything that I'm learning with you guys. But right now we're learning right along with the rest of you, and I'll teach you what I know along the way. All right, so we have now, I'm going to just give this a little bit of a dry, just so that I don't make a giant mess.
Nina said she's absolutely addicted to the structure plaster. What are you using it for?
Oh, Nina, I'm telling you, it's amazing. Gets under your fingernails, you know, all that stuff. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Whoops. But when you are really going to see these come to life is on Wednesday, when I'm going to be adding some other effects to this. You're going to love it. You're going to love what happens here. When you're working with a structure plaster or the loft spackle or a modeling paste, for example, you do need to kind of work in stages. Because one section is wet, you'll have to wait for it to dry before you move on to the next section. So I'm just giving this a very quick dry with a crust over it, just so I don't make a huge mess, like I did a minute ago with my water, because you know how I am.
Carolyn asked, what about using the crackle primer and paste through a stencil?
You can do that, Carolyn. You know what? It's interesting because I was just thinking about that earlier today and how neat that effect could be. So definitely you could do that. All right, so now we have that. We have that. Let's go over, let me work on this one right here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to line up, see this part here, it's much more detailed, and that fits right over top of this. You could also just use this on your own, on its own. So what I'm going to do is I am going to line this up right here. I don't know why that one is, okay, and I'm going to get that. So the outside kind of lines up, right? And then I'm going to take my palette knife again. I'm using a little bit smaller one this time.
Kelly, I think you can get 1,000 milliliter size too. We would just have to special order it. Nina uses it on her dollhouse roof, porch, and the cupola.
Oh yeah.
How
yeah.
cool.
Okay, so let's hold this down. I have a smaller palette knife. I'm working on this detail here, and I know it's going to be hard. I could have tinted this to make it a little easier to see, but hopefully. So I'm running that palette knife over top and filling in the openings. Really hold that stencil down. And when you get that structure plaster on there and through the stencil, you just want to lift straight up. And oh, that is so neat, Mara.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to do any more of, well, I probably could do this. I could do this one, I think.
Wow. She really is good at those type of...
I know. You know what? It does need to be rinsed.
Okay.
For some reason, I put this one on the other direction.
Okay.
But that's okay. So Megan's going to rinse that off, and
Sorry.
we're going to move on then. Let me dry this a little bit so you can maybe see that detail. And all of this structure plaster and the layers that it's created, the height that it's created, is going to really become evident on Wednesday when we add some other details to this, like glazes and antiquing and all of that. So let me show you what that looks like. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that layered effect? Hopefully you can. See that, guys? Tell me if you can see that. I'm trying to show you. See that? Oh, there it shows it. That's cool. Very cool. All right, now I'm going to do my little border design here. And for this one, I have already laid this one out in the center. Can you see it? Just barely, because I got a lot of other texture that I put on there by cleaning off my palette knife. But here's one also that I found the center, and then I did the center first. Now I'm going, these have dried, now I'm going to add the other parts to this. So we've got this dry, this is dry, and now I am going to just add on, I'm going to add on to this. So I've lined it up, but I'm going to shift this down and I'm just trying to figure out my design. And it's that. Then I'm going to go to here. Let's do this. We'll do that.
So Delroy's asking, are you adding it to get this design thicker?
Yes, yes, that is what I wanted to do with this technique. So I've got 2 layers of structure plaster. And again, let me just fill this in.
Elizabeth asks, how do we seal transfers on glass? We don't typically seal them when they are on glass.
Then I'm going to flip this around and I'm going to do this side. It's probably not going to be a perfect, okay, let me see, I did that. So I'm going to lay that here.
That's a really pretty
It's a pretty border,
design,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I will come over here and let's do over here. So let me, I know it's a little hard to see my pattern here, but we're going to do the best we can do. We're going to go that way.
Does this crack at all, Barbara asks?
This does not. You'll want the cracking primer and the cracking plaster if you want the kind of texture that is going to crack. Lift straight up. Okay, so I have these 2 sides, this done, and then we're going to come over here for this one. Just line that up as best I can. And of course, it is not going to be perfect. When we're talking about aged, old finishes, it's not perfect. It's just not. Some of the chunks have fallen off. Some of them are going to be missing. So, yeah, we're not going to worry if it doesn't all go on perfectly. I'm telling you, by the time we add all of our paint and antiquing and the wall lasers next week and the antique lasers, it's going to be so cool.
Carol says this feels slightly Scandinavian to me.
Oh.
Yes, I see that.
Oh. So I think my board or my mirror is 20 or 18, 22. So I need to pop over at 11, find my center, and just make a little mark. Just so I can find the center. I'm going to do the center of this one right here.
Proud of you for using that ruler.
Oh, thank you. Usually I eyeball it, and then I go back and spend 3 hours redoing it.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, Colleen's in Minnesota waiting to see if she might have some tornadoes tonight.
Tornadoes.
Wow. You're on one with that. She said tomatoes like that earlier.
I said tomatoes. I
Yeah.
said I brought a lovely salad with garbanzo beans and
she said tomato.
And I said
the way
tomatoes.
She said tornado.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
I
going
did.
on.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, all right. So there's one technique. We're going to let this dry. I might get paint over this in a bit. I'm going to send Megan off to clean this off. Let me tell you what, this product, get it off of your stencil right away. It hardens the plaster. get it off of your stencils, get them cleaned off, because it really does harden to a really hard finish. So you won't need to worry about once it's hardened and on there, it's going to be almost impossible to get off. So, but we'll put this aside for a bit and get this cleaned off my hands as best I can. Move this up a little bit. Look at that big giant water spill. I hope everybody is having a great Monday. Okay, can you see this again before I move on? Here it is. And again, I've worked in just sections because I have to wait for my first section of modeling, or my first section of structure plaster to dry before I can move on to the next section. So that is going to be the most complicated of our techniques today. Now I'm going to get this off of here. It's really driving me crazy. Whew. All right. So again, this is Baroque Corners, and tell me again, Megan, Baroque Corners.
And Classic Borders. Classic Borders, Baroque Corners. And then the other new ones with Mara, this is called Hearts of Fire. This is called Distressed Backgrounds. This is called Herringbone and Honeycomb. Lisa said back in the day, my boyfriend had an Oldsmobile Tornado.
Oh, is that right, Lisa?
Crocs.
Oh, that's so good. That is good.
Hey, Royce.
There she is.
I was coming off a big weekend.
Woo! I'll say. Royce, did you have a great time? All of your posts look like so much fun.
I wish I was there.
We're sad. We're sad. Okay, so the first technique is using the structure plaster. We're done with that right now. Now let's bring up another board that I have been working on. Look at this texture, you guys. Oh my stars. Isn't this incredible? Look at this. I can't wait to share more about how I did this at another time. Okay, now the next stencil we're going to show is my bird and branch stencil, and I absolutely love this. Let me flip this a little bit. Sorry, guys. So here it is, bird and branch. It definitely has a chinoiserie look to it. The cool thing about this is my friend Joanne, who worked with me on this, made it so that it works side to side, so you can build off of either side, and you can also layer from top to bottom. So what we're going to do today is, with this one, isn't it pretty? This is so pretty.
It really is pretty.
And we're going to do a two-color technique on this, which is going to give our stencil some depth and dimension. So what you'll want is to create a shadow with your stenciling. Sorry. So the first layer that we put down is going to be a darker color. Now I've chosen a few different colors here. I have Fusions Cast Iron, and I have Fusions Putty. So I'll get a little bit of each of these out on my little pad here.
That is such a cute stencil.
What one? This one?
You could just use little parts of it too.
You can use little parts of it. You could also use like some really fun like DIY bright colors, and you could do a lot of fun looks with this.
Oh my
You could go in a very bohemian look, and today I'm going to definitely do more of an old world style in the kind of like Jolie Thomas. I will say that when I created this stencil, it was a while back when someone in the creative tribe actually said, oh, I wish there was a way to recreate this technique. And it was one of Jolie Thomas's pieces. And I was like, oh my gosh, stay tuned. I have got to work on this. And I loved how it was on all of that texture and all of the grunge, and oh my gosh, it looked amazing. So I started working with my friend Joanne from Margaritaville, and we kind of developed this particular stencil for me to use as kind of an old world style, but then I began to see all kinds of other possibilities with it. I love the size of it. It would be great on furniture or just a panel. You could overlay this on a really simple decoupage background even. You can do so many things with it. Let me grab my...
Hi, Mara. We just got done using 2 of your stencils.
Oh my gosh,
You just missed
Mara.
it. It looks so cool.
So this is putty. Now, I don't want to go with a completely like dark shadow. So I'm just going to mix the putty with some of that cast iron. And it doesn't have to be a perfect mix. And then I'm going to take my stencil brush. This is the Decoupage Queen stencil brush. I think we have an order of these coming, if I'm not mistaken. And I will pounce my brush into the paint. Here we go, stenciling 101. Then I want to offload. And what offloading does is it distributes the paint throughout the bristles, and it also removes the excess. It's better to put a light coat down. You can always add more. So let's get this. Actually, I am going to tape this one, Megan, or else I'm going to be regretting it.
Crying.
I'm going to be crying. But imagine this too on a beautiful like red background with gold. That whole look of the chinoiserie. Like how pretty would that be? All right, so then I'm just going to take my stencil brush and I am going to, you can pounce, and I think I'm going to just pounce because I don't want a perfect stencil here. Because I am doing a very aged and worn look, I don't mind if I skip around a little bit. I just want the suggestion of a shadow here, and you'll see why in a minute. And I just keep going back to that mixture that I made, then I offload. But you can see how I'm kind of skipping over the surface instead of really grunging this or really pushing the stencil into my surface and doing like a swirling and tapping. I'm not looking for complete coverage here. Look how pretty already. Isn't that pretty? All right, so let's get the rest of this. Some of it's going to be lighter, some of it's going to be darker. I'll be skipping over a couple of areas where it's not going to be complete stencil coverage. Is Mara still here?
Yes.
Mara, don't forget, you guys, Mara has a retreat coming in September with Vasilis, so I do want to mention that. You can bet they'll be doing a lot of cool texture.
And you can find, that's still open, right, Mara? And I would guess you can find information on vintage retail therapy on her website.
Yes, absolutely. Megan, we should go.
Yeah.
Okay, so see how I am not doing a complete coverage here? Oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing.
What's the, maybe you mentioned it. But what is the background there?
Well, I didn't mention it because I am preparing textured surfaces for an upcoming something.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it, but I can tell you that I use I use some of the new Pentart products. I also used milk paint, and
I was worried I was going to get a, like I said.
Oh, no, not at all. Okay, so let's get the shadow on here. And then let me show you how this, when I move this down, it connects right here.
Lovely.
I know, isn't that beautiful? It really is. I just have to get it lined up. See? Tape. And then, like I said, you can also, this will also, you can extend the pattern in the other direction as well, lengthwise. Okay, so there how it just blends right down in there. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. And I'm telling you, this is going to look completely different Wednesday when we're done with it. Okay, so I have now created my shadow. Now what I want to do is I want to create a little bit of an offset. So I'm going to line everything up again.
You think I should call this a part 1?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Whoops. Okay, so we're going to line it up again. Oh, I hate getting my head in the way. Sorry, you guys. Let me see if I can move this over. Now that I've got paint all over this stencil, it's going to be a little harder to see. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a different stencil brush, and I want to create that offset look, that shadowing look. I get this lined up with that shadow layer. Then what I can either shift it left, I can shift it right, I can shift it up, or I can shift it down, depending on the look that I want. And I would encourage you to just practice and play doing that, because it's really fun to see the different kinds of effects you can get by creating that shadow background. I'm just going to make it simple, and I'm just going to go over to the right, and I'm literally shifting it about a 1/16 of an inch. About a 1/16 of an inch, and I'm just checking to make sure that it's all, there we go. And I want you to see, hopefully you can see the edge of this stencil right here, or the edge of the paint. See how I've shifted it over, and you can just see that blue background. Watch, I did this and then went over. See how that shifted? Like this and then over. Okay, now I'm going to take some of this putty, and I'm also going to take some of my casement.
Oh, as a wall treatment, it would be beautiful, yes.
It would make such a great, and imagine this over the structure plaster or the loft spackle. Oh my gosh. You guys, I have just been so excited about all of the different textures that I've been playing with. I just cannot wait to reveal all of it to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to pick up, here's a little bit of putty, a little bit of white. I'm going to use both of those in my brush. Just tap them in. offload. I've shifted my stencil. I want to hold it down, and then I'm going to apply my paint. It's so funny. It's like, oh, when I do this kind of stuff and I just work on practice panels, I'm like, oh shoot, I wish I would have done that like on a cabinet door or a piece of furniture or whatever. So I'm picking up a little bit of putty. I'm picking up a little bit of that casement. And I'm going over this. I'm not looking for perfect coverage. I'm really not. Because I want this eventually to look like it's been around forever and ever and ever. So I think then on Wednesday I'm going to add some hand painted details on this as well. Let's take a little peek. Oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. Look at that. That is so cool. And down we go. If you could see my palette, I'm working with all these different colors at once. I will show you that in a second. And on Wednesday, we're going to just stress a lot of this back. So you're really it's going to be a very subtle design in the background. I'm telling you, when this is done, I would totally have JR put a frame on this, and it would just be a beautiful piece of artwork.
Stephanie's setting up a hot tub, listening and lurking, she said.
Are you lurking, Stephanie? That's okay. I wish I was getting ready to go into a hot tub.
It's very nice here today, though.
It is. It's a beautiful day. Okay, let's take a look and see how that looks. Look at that, you guys. Look at that.
Beautiful.
That is amazing.
Really pretty, Mom.
Okay, so I'm going to line this up. Let me get it all lined up. And then remember, I am going to, oops, I'm not lined up. I want to make sure that's all. I think I shifted my stencil when I shouldn't have shifted, but it's all good. It's all good. So there I am. I'm lined up, and I'm going to shift it just that about a 1/16 of an inch to the right. But again, you can go to the left, you can go to the top, you can go to the bottom. But this is how you get a lot of cool dimension. Look at see my palette, you guys? I'm just working with all of these colors. And I want to keep it light, so I keep dipping into my white and then a little more of the putty, getting a good mix of those. All right, so now I'm going to finish off this bottom here. I mean, imagine this with gold leaf through it. Like if you did the gold, or the gold leaf, like the metal leaf glue adhesive. And then applied the gold leaf. That would be so amazing.
Yes.
Or you could simply use our favorite gold paint or Debbie's DIY golden ticket. So many ways you could do this. Okay, and then there, oh my gosh, this is great. This is so cool, you guys. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? It is so beautiful. I love it. All right, so that's technique number 2. Now we're going to move on to our very basic stencil technique. I really, really wish, I cannot wait to show you this. Mira, this is what I was working on. I did 2 layers of structure plaster with your corner mold here, or corner stencil.
She's gone.
Oh, she left. Okay. Okay. But yeah, this is amazing. Hang out with us on Wednesday to see how I'm going to continue to age this. This is gorgeous. I could totally see this on a piece of furniture.
Very cool.
Right? And then it's going to be even better on Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay? So that is with a milk paint, a very chippy milk paint background that I did. This is another texture piece that I've been working on with different Pentart wall products. And now I'm going to show you just a very basic technique. I will be using one of my new stencil designs. I shared an inspiration photo from Intuit Design from Germany, and I loved this. So I worked with Joanne to create this particular, these images, and we worked hard to get them like perfectly like lined up and yeah, it took some time. It took some time. So I'm going to use this one right here, and we're going to use that same kind of pink color. So let me grab some tape again. I have had this Birds and Branches stencil. How long have we been working on that? It's been 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. This pattern also repeats. Top to bottom, left to right. And for this one, I'm going to use the Veranda by Jamie Ray Vintage. So the first thing I want to do is get this really stirred up. We're going to get that stirred really nicely. I might have you finish stirring that, Megan. What I want you to see is it does have this little black dot in the middle. So I am going to use a very tiny, tiny little brush in my cast iron paint, and I'm going to just do my dots. They're not perfect. A lot of this is going to be distressed and worn after we're done with it on Wednesday. So I've got all of my little dots done. Let me go ahead and, well, no, I better not. I'm going to just get these on here.
I've never stirred this.
Yeah, it's neat.
The texture is like fluffy, kind of, in a way.
It is. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting.
Yeah, it's different.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we have that, and now I'm going to grab a stencil brush, and we're going to do that pink color. All set?
I don't know. I think
Beautiful.
so.
Yep.
You tell me.
So let me get some onto my palette here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm offloading. And I need a little bit more. I love this color pink. There is nothing in any of our other paint lines like this, not even in the milk paint. Again, I am not looking for a perfectly perfect way or fill in of this design. It's going to be a little bit random, a little bit sketchy kind of. Some of it, the pattern is going to be darker, some is going to be lighter. And I'll tell you, if I can't go and take lessons in Europe, then I'm going to have to try to figure it out myself, right?
You will, though, someday.
Someday I will, yeah. I hope so.
You will. That's manifesting.
Okay. Vasilis and I were commenting on one of Jolie's recent posts saying like, we want to come. Vasilis said, let's go together.
Yes.
Cheryl Macedo popped in and said, can I fit in your suitcase?
Yeah, she could. She's just a little pocket-sized thing.
She is. I would take you to Europe, Missy. If she's here. I don't know if she's here.
I don't know if I saw her yet.
All right, are we ready for the reveal? I'm ready. Let's hope it looks good. I can always go back and add additional layers of color if I want to. Okay, I wish I had a drum roll. I'm excited about this.
Where is
First
my
time
sound
using
machine?
it. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
You guys, look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And this one also, we can create a design end to end. We just want to, which way was I going? Like that. There, like that. Oh my gosh. I am crazy about this. Wait till Joanne sees this. Just wait. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's get that tape down. We may as well do the rest of it. I'm going to go in with my little bit of black. Just with a teeny tiny brush. Some of it is getting into that pink, but that's okay. You can see I've got some other texture behind there too. I don't have this perfectly lined up, but you know what is perfect in my world?
Me.
You. Yes. I'm probably going to be a little bit off. I don't care.
Really?
I really don't.
Okay.
No.
Good.
I'll show you. Wasn't lined up exactly right. But we'll make it work. We're going to make it work.
That's the spirit.
Exactly. This pink is so amazing. What are the names of my 2 stencils? I don't even know.
They are called Mosaic. Hold on. I'm in the middle of.
One of them is Waves, maybe.
Hold on. Let me back up here. Mosaic Daisy and Mosaic Star.
Yep.
So no, neither one. Maybe you're cooking up Mosaic Waves. Still.
Mosaic Daisy. Mosaic Stars.
Yes.
Okay, we are about finished. Oh, it's so cool. I do get excited. It's kind of like when you lift off the inlay to reveal what happened.
Yes.
It's kind of like that with this.
Yes.
Like with the stenciling, especially when you're playing around with like different kind of looks. I get very excited. And there it is. How's that? That is amazing. Amazing. That's good.
It's pretty good.
I love it. Mosaic Daisies. Yeah. Okay. That is going to be that for today. I didn't prepare a board to do this guy, but oh my gosh, this is going to be great. I'm saving this for a piece of furniture, I think. So we'll see that again. That one will pop up again, I promise you. So what do you think, you guys? Do you love it? Do you love? Isn't that so cool? And look at the texture back behind there. That is so good. Or you can make it go up and down like this. And of course, this would fit end to end this way as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And stay tuned. We'll do more next week. The pink is JRV Cottage Color Veranda. Yes.
Veranda.
And let me just go over again for people that came partway through. You can find all of those things, all the stencils that we showed, Mara's stencils, Mom's stencils, the products, the colors, all that good stuff in the supply list that I made. You can find it up above in the description on Facebook, down below on YouTube, or on EJG'S.com under the category featured on our live tutorials. You just look for the title from today's live and the date, and you'll find links to everything that Mom used today.
And yeah, that is that. So we'll see you on Wednesday, you guys, and we're gonna do a little distressing and aging techniques with these 3 samples that we did today. So can't wait to share that with you on Wednesday. You all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Bye.